Hello and welcome back. We just recently opened one pack for one video, and we're going to hop right back into opening the 4 pre-constructed decks for Sorcery Contested Realm. In this video, we're going to be opening one box, and in another video, we'll open another box, and so on and so forth. So let us continue here. With opening the first air box, and then after that we'll open fire, water, and earth. We're just going to be taking a look at the cards that are within each of these boxes. Come on now. There we go. Alright. Perfect. Okay. Once again, we're going to start off by cleaning our space. So, alright. I'd say that's good. Once again, we are looking at the air pre-constructed deck for Sorcery Contested Realm. And we're just going to get right into it. So I'm going to actually move those boxes out of the way. We have our avatar to start by Francesca Berald. A lot of blues. Of course, we're going to see probably a lot of themes in color. Awesome. And in this card, of course, we see a lot of blues and purples, very symbolic of the air cards. Awesome. And of course, this is the Spark Mage. Next, we have a Lightning Bolt. Awesome. By Ozzy Hayekala. I really hope I am pronouncing some of these names right. At least one, perhaps. Again, you have those blues and purples, that nice silhouette of the rider in the background, who perhaps just dodged that lightning bolt. He was not the random unit, of course. There was someone else there that had been struck. Awesome. Moving along, of course, there were 3 lightning bolts. Next, there is a thunderstorm by, again, Ozzy Hakala. So maybe we'll see a theme with the artists that are within each of the decks as well. Very cool. We have those blues and purples. This time, it looks like they're taking out a whole entire village or town. That is very unfortunate, very powerful, very cool card. There's just one thunderstorm. Next we have Lucky Charm by Jussie Pilkis. Very cool. A lot of line work on those hands and on that lucky charm in the middle. You have that nice kind of slow contrast where it's a lot of blues and then it kind of fades into the red just right down at the bottom. But that detail draws you in right in the middle. Very nice card. Next we have Nimbus Jinn. Whoa, that is really cool. That is by Dan Seagrave. An elite spirit of turbulent terror. Awesome. That is really cool. A lot of detail in that town. Very nice. And that Jinn just looks like he's inflicting some lightning upon that town. I guess that would be the 3 damage. And very cool. Awesome piece of artwork. A lot of detail in that town. It's very cool. Subtle, but when you look, it's there. And now we have some Slaying Pixies by Vasily Ermolov. We got some kind of what feels subtle in the use of contrast. We have some green to take our focus to the one fairy or pixie in the middle. Then we have some nice faded but dark reds and blues, a little bit of purple, just to create some contrast in the background, but also to keep that color. They feel very lit up in the middle. Awesome. Next we have The Snow Leopard by Lindsay Crummett. Wow, very realistic style painting or piece of art. Feels like a really natural moment captured with this snow leopard. You can see the very subtle blues and greens in the background on the mountain. And then you got more earthy tones, kind of which match the snow leopard in front. Very cool card. And it looks like there are 2 of those. Now we have Cloud Spirit, which we had just seen recently, of course. If you had followed along in the booster pack opening previously. And this is by Mikhail Nagipal. You have those nice earthy tones down the bottom for the mountain, but a lot of blue to really give you space to show off that cloud spirit. Those wispy clouds stretching out beyond the eyesight. Awesome card. Very cool feeling. And it looks like there are 2 of those as well. Now for some very different artwork compared to the cloud spirit and earthy feeling. We have Dead of Night Demon by Mikhail Nagipal once again. But you have that forest in the background there, but your focus is very much on that demon front and center. And as you stare at him, you start to see the subtle hints of nature hanging off his horns. Awesome. And it looks like there are 2 of those as well. Next we have Spectral Stalker by Jeff Easley. Wow, lots of color here, lots of lines. We have the village, which is the subtle browns, and we got some reds. Then we got that cool blue for the night, and that sharp yellow for the portal of the stalker, that spectral stalker just coming in between the realms. Very cool. Very pretty card. Jeff Easley. Awesome. Next we have, and there are 2 of those. Next we have Headless Haunt. Wow. A very pretty card. Not a lot of color, but a lot of contrast in the color that's there. That red for the windows in the background, and just blue Just everywhere else, just blues and darks. It creates a very sharp contrast. Jesse Pilkos. Awesome. And of course, the headless haunt, the headless ghost, front and center. Very nice. Very bold. Very cool. And there's two of those as well. Now we have the Kite Archer. Wow. Yes, the very familiar Vincent Pompetti style with the watercolor, what I refer to as watercolor style. I'm not too sure if that's what it is. But that, regardless, it is a very unique, it is very much a style that he seems to use frequently. So I would say he favors it. But it's very cool. Awesome card. And there's only one of them. Now we have the Midnight Road by Elvira Shekarova. Wow. Very bold and striking with those reds. Very defined line work. Play within the boundaries kind of style. And that nice blue to provide a very sharp contrast without taking it away by just adding black. Awesome. Very cool card. How many are there? 2. Okay. Next we have the ever vibrant plumed Pegasus by Melissa A. Benson. Wow. Very bright in color. Really brings your eye right into that plumed Pegasus, and just that kind of subtle but faded blue background. Nothing there but just a cloud. Just nothing to look at but that plumed Pegasus and all that detail and all that bold, bright color. A lot of contrast that just keeps your eye busy. Very pretty card. And there's 2 of them. Next we have the Spire Lich by Vasily Ermolov, I'm not too sure, I'm sorry. Here we have a lot of greens, a lot of blacks, and a little bit of blue there. But so much detail in that wispiness. Taking a look at the Lich, you can see his staff and his cape, and occasionally you can see the smattering of bone around the card. Very dark and ominous kind of feeling. Like a Lich. Very cool. And there's one of them. Next we have the Gyre Hippogriffs by Garut Dwaso. Quite an electric scene going on here. We have the hippogriffs. Looks like they're perhaps going into battle, and they are being guided by this one soldier on this one hippogriff here with this incredible staff with lightning around it, which I am to assume that he is in control of the lightning perhaps, and did not just get struck by it. Very cool card. What a scene to behold. Next we have the Skirmishers of Mu by Vincent Pompetti. Wow. That is a lot of detail, holy moly. We have a faded out background, a little bit of shadow under the horses, but the horses are so detailed, that's amazing. And then those riders shooting their bows off the horse. What an amazing scene to be captured. Very, very chaotic scene in a way. Because, you know, that's just one moment of a larger battle going on. What a cool moment to capture. Very cool. Next we have Roaming Monster by Jeff Easley. A lot of reds and blues. Of course, more reds and blues, but that blue is very bold to give you that good sharp contrast once again with that red-faced monster. And as you stare at him, you start to notice those details like his teeth and tongue and the tangles and thingies coming off of his face and the horns on his head. And then as you look around, you see the other details like his hands and the dungeon, the door. But that monster is really just coming at you. And there's one of him. Next we have the Highland Clansman, a very Braveheart-like scene by Truett Parrish. We have a lot of earthy tones and that nice red to really make that figure in the middle stand out, to symbolize he's probably a leader and the rest of the men behind him are following his lead. And then you see familiar, subtle blue body paint throughout. Or maybe they're just running after him because they want to kill him. Who knows? He's running away. Next we have The Apprentice Wizard by Ozzy Hakala. Wow, a lot of blues. Kind of like a green subtlety. And then a nice little hint of purple on the cape. Kind of let you know it's like a red, perhaps. And then the energy is tinting it more towards the purple spectrum. Perhaps. But this individual looks like he's ready to take charge. And I hope you're ready to receive what he's putting out. Next we have the Grand Master Wizard. Wow, a lot of red here. This is a lot of red going on. And just a lot of black to make that Grand Master stand out. Ozzy Hakala. Wow. You see that concentration on the gentleman's face. His focus is purely on what he's about to do. And that finger is very straight and to the point. Hope you're ready for that. And the owl is just chilling. That's cool. And there's one of them. Next we have Blink. Oh yeah. There we go. Blink. Francesca Beirol. Very nice card. A lot of blues and purples. That fitting for an air-themed deck. And in that moment you can kind of see that captured from here to there feel to symbolize that blink. To let you know she's moved very quickly from one location to another, taking action. And just a little bit of subtlety in those reds. Wow. They seem to stand out the more I stare at the card. Very cool. Maybe my white balance is changing. There's two of them there. Now we have ourselves Teleport by Vincent Pompetti. Is that familiar style? And once again, it kind of feels like the individual is being teleported by some means. He's disappearing into that wispy blue energy and just slowly disintegrating. Or perhaps he's coming back, he's teleporting in, and is ready to take action. Either way, it has that teleport feel. And that nice contrast on the hood to really draw your attention to the middle. Awesome. There's one of them. Next we have the Raised Dead by Tony Shizuto. A lot of detail here. Again, subtle blues, very light. And just a lot of focus on that hand in the middle of the card there, just pulling up from the ground, being summoned by that undead, perhaps necromancer or sorcerer in the back, raising the dead to take control and cause some trouble, I would imagine. I don't think he's looking for tea party people. Next we have Chain Lightning by Alan Pollack. Wow. At quick glance, you see, of course, that bolt, but then as you look, you see incredible amounts of detail on the individuals that are being hit by that lightning. You see everything, really. It's subtle, but it's all there. That lightning just so bright, illuminating those individuals in the dark. As that lightning bounces from one to the other, taking out each individual, or at least hurting them. Very cool card. Really like that. Alan Pollack. Very, very, very nice. It's a lot of berries, of course. There's two of them. Next we have our Atlas card by Mikhail and Michael Nagipal. Very, very pretty blue. Nice and subtle. A subtle contrast with the background and the foreground. It just brings your attention to the Gothic tower standing solitarily in the middle of the card. And a nice moon. Or sun, perhaps, in the background, creating a nice shadowy effect on the ground in the middle of the tower. Awesome. Next we have Gothic Tower. There's three of them. Now we have ourselves Dark Tower by Mikhail Nagipal and Mikey Paul. This is another type of tower card. An ordinary sight of contemplation. A lot darker background, darker skies, and some subtle blues on the mountains. And then as you stare at the dark tower, you notice the windows, and little subtle details of grass and life in the front. Very pretty scene. Oh, yeah, it's pretty. It's nice. It looks cool. I like this. All the cards, they really do look nice. So, awesome. And there's three of them. Next we have the Lone Tower. Each of the towers did look a little lone. This one's more lone than the others, of course. And now, not as much blue in the sky. We have a little bit more oranges and yellows. Nice subtle grass. It's green in the middle, in the back. Or, sorry, in the front and in the back / middle. Those nice subtle trees. And a lone tower. This one's a little bit more broken down than the others. Perhaps that is why it is the lone tower. Is it weathered? Or did someone just destroy it? Did it see battle perhaps? I'm not too sure. Next we have, make sure that was, oh. Next we have Mountain Pass by Marta Molina, or Molina. Wow, what a very cold and solitary feeling card. There's nothing else out there, just you. And that's a very fitting feeling for the card itself and what it can do. Very cool card. Very nice piece of art, Marta. A lot of whites and blues and very subtle greens. Absolutely no reds, it seems. And there's two of them. Oh wow. From a mountain top to an updraft ridge. So cold to so warm. Chao Calazans. Now that is quite a beautiful scene. Lots of detail. Very open and free feeling. You watch those birds take flight in the sky. The subtle green that kind of accents the orange on the mountain. And that beautiful sun in the sky. Really just making everything stand out. Very gorgeous card. Next we have, and there's two of them. Next we have the Observatory. Whoa. A space observatory, I'm guessing, by Margaret Organ Keene. Look at your next 3 spells. Put them back in any order. Well, that would be convenient. As you take a look, there's so much color. A lot of oranges and reds on the observatory. You notice those stairs and the pathways. And that very pretty purpley background. Awesome card. And next we have, and there's one of them. Ooh, what is this? A planar gate? Wow. All that detail and that bold yellow with that contrasting blue background makes your eyes just lock in on that planar gate. That's crazy. This is by Liz Danforth. Wow, what a beautiful gateway there. That looks really cool. So much detail to take in there. That is amazing. Then of course the nice blue bold background to make that gold just really stand out. And then just all subtle colors on the outside, just so there's something there, but there's nothing to look at really. Just all that work is in that structure, in that planar gate. Crazy. Cool. And this is our last card. Cloud City. Wow, that is pretty. It really feels like you're floating there. That background, very black and just fog-like. And then the details in this city are absolutely beautiful. All the little shingles, all the bricks. And this is by Elvira Polakowska. Wow. Not as much detail in those clouds because again, It's just all about that city and how it's floating. But it's all about the city. Very cool. So much detail. Very, very cool card. All right. And that'll do it for us here. I would like to thank you all for coming out. I would also like to say stay safe, stay well, and we'll see you around. Bye-bye now.